Hello and welcome to another video, and it's Amico time again. And I always try saying I'm not going to make the video last too long, and then it ends up lasting almost an hour. I really try not for that this time. Anyway, so there's so many things that are happening, but each individual one doesn't seem enough to make an actual video about. So we'll just run through a few things I've got sort of lined up. I mean, we know they're $8 million in debt. £8 million would be even more. But then again, I think it's just over about $8.6 million. So I have no idea what the conversion rate is. It always tends to be a hell of a lot anyway. It's been exposed along the way that CEO Phil Adam, the new CEO, he came from the house of the Coleco Chameleon, or Coleco, as we called it, ColecoVision, back in the 80s. A console that none of my friends had. I didn't have it either, because I think that came out in the UK. I'd have to look it up. I think it came out about 1983. That's when I seem to remember it being out. Maybe possibly 82. But I know we had Donkey Kong on there, and Donkey Kong looked immeasurably better than the one we got on the Atari 2600. It's called the Atari VCS at the time. Actually, just thinking, someone else who likes the Atari 2600 is Frank Booth from Blue Velvet. I brought him into the very brief video. See, I can do a brief video when I want to, but that was quite a fun video to make. I hope you caught that. That was I put that up a couple of days ago. But anyway, so me and my friends, we only just had the Atari 2600. No one had an Intellivision. They were higher price. I think the Atari 2600 was about £130. The Intellivision was about £200, and I don't know what the Coleco was. It must have been at least £200. But either way, the fact that we all had the 2600, our parents were not going to go out and buy another console, especially since the cartridges were not compatible. Because when you have your games, you want to be able to take them to your friend and just play them in their machine as well, or swap them for a few nights. Hey, if we all had Amicos, we could all go around and just tap our thing on the console and download the game. Yeah. But anyway, so Phil Adam was the Vice President of Business Development, where they only developed a scam. He's also got off for a week's holiday, just as they're meant to be ready to release the date of the console, which is supposed to be happening at some point mid to late February. I mean, as I record this, it's the 16th of February. God, I'm losing track. 16th of February, so I'll put this up on the 17th. So someone said to me last time, I set the video to go live like 9 AM the next day, and someone posted in the comments, this was about 10, 11 o'clock the night before, somebody said, hey, just make the video live already. Well, in the UK, if I make a video go live at 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, people will have gone to bed. They stop looking at their phones by that point, but by 9 o'clock in the next morning, they're all more awake and more ready and receptive to it. And then a few hours later, anyone who's in the US and have not yet woken up, because that would make about sort of 4 AM or even 1 AM in some places, they've got all day to catch up on it. So that's how it is. So yeah, 9 o'clock the next day is when I would normally release a new video. Whatever I do, why not? So what else we got? This is got a few things to mention, as I say. So they use an out of context re-res hot takes quote. So hot takes, I've not watched his video for a while, but he had re-res 2, then he just called it hot takes. What else? What we got? What the industry is saying. So this is from the ridiculous. Oh, it's a devil of a smile, isn't it? Michael Pachter. I think it's about time somebody focused on families with kid-friendly games. Intellivision has a long history of delivery. You won't be able to read this on a phone. I can barely read this on a 50-inch TV. Intellivision has a long history of delivering content that everyone can enjoy, and if the revived console is priced right, I expect it to be immensely successful. Maybe $100. Oh, that's the profit that Mr. Agarwal wants. The company has the right leadership and is positioned in an underserved niche. So if they're able to deliver compelling value proposition, I think this relaunch will be a home run. Intellivision, that was Michael Pachter, Managing Director of Equity Research, Wedbush. USA Today says, Intellivision reboot, the retro video game trend is gaining extra life. Wow. And Dean Takahashi from GamesBeat to VentureBeat. Sounds like one of them clickbait sites. Intellivision will be the wild card of 2020. 2020. Yeah. Anyway, so so Shane Louis, the re-res guy. So it looks like I need to clarify something that Intellivision Amico did when they did the marketing campaign, because that was a little while ago. They took a video of us and cleverly cut it to make it sound like I was very positive about their console. So, I don't know, you just, there's a link, well, you can go to his channel if you really want to, or go to this video if you want. But basically, that him and his mate, I've no idea what his mate's name is, sort of ginger-haired guy. So the bit they showed was, if anyone's going to make this a success and prove everyone wrong, it's going to be Tommy Tallarico. And that's all they played. But the full line was, so if anyone's going to make this a success and prove everyone wrong, it's going to be Tommy Tallarico. So we'll see how it goes. But I'm on uneven ground here. I personally don't think it's going to be a success. Ooh, burn for Tommy. So the next bit of news I want to bring you is you can actually report Intellivision to the SEC. So I do lose track of these. NFT, NFC, it's all the same, isn't it? I do lose track of all these things because they're in the US and I'm in the UK in terms of what they all mean. So I know you've got to get an FCC certification in order to sell a product. The SEC, the US Securities and Exchange Commission, basically these are the people you don't want to piss off. So they deal with fraudulent stuff. So rather than try and read that, there's where is my page? There we go. So guidelines for reporting to the SEC. I'm not going to just go through all of this, but because it's a big long page. But they just say we've been challenged by a StartEngine poster to go ahead and report this offering to the SEC. Considering they already got involved over Jay Allard, who Tommy was saying was still working for them on the investor video when they weren't, this will be picked up even quicker. Intellivision Entertainment is in their books. And so you can submit a tip. They deal with Ponzi schemes, so using money from current investors to pay previous investors. Pyramid schemes, so just recruiting more and more so-called organic influences behind the door closed meetings, just drum up more and more converts to put more money in to pay people lower down. And nobody wins at those in the end. And high yield investment programs, 10 times returns. We're on the launch pad. StartEngine. So just basically, if you want to report them for Intellivision, I mean, I've got my money out, so I probably won't do this. I've got better things to do, like make videos like this. So if you want to report Intellivision to the SEC, go ahead. But yeah, that's the website there if you want to go and do that. And well, I'm not going to play the video, but even Smash has admitted it's game over. I mean, I hope you can get your money back, but the $10,000. But I hope no, he didn't put any more money in. But I remember he made another video about it. But yeah, if you can get your money back, please get your money back. If you've got a pre-order in, please get your pre-order money out, because you will be able to get that out for now. But once they go bankrupt, it's game over. It really is game over. Now, also, Saggy Melonz. She made a video. She admits the YouTube influencers have secret meetings with Amico staff. I mean, she made like a 2-minute video. I'm not going to watch one of her long, ranty, live streams and stuff. But she did make a 2-minute video about Smash. But yeah, the video is private, so quite funny actually. We can't watch that anymore. But someone did, make a I think it's called Osima Vision. I'll put a link in the video description below. But anyway, I'll play through some of this.
Guy who spells Amico backwards.
Osima Vision. I don't know who that is though.
Is that what that is?
Yeah.
Oh, that's what Osima Vision, Amico backwards. Right, I get it.
That's Amico backwards.
Yeah.
Saggy Melonz admits that ex-CEO Tommy Tallarico has Google Hangout calls with YouTube and
I thought that was Saggy Melonz at first, but no, it's like what do you call it? Sort of AI voice. But Tommy Tallarico
admits
That is? Yeah, that's Amico
There we go.
backwards.
Saggy Melonz admits that ex-CEO Tommy Tallarico has Google Hangout calls with YouTube influencers who walk them through public relation posts before they go public. This includes the most recent SEC document. Let's listen now.
Here, right? For the haters who gotta come here, let me just inform you.
Hang on, we've got to do this properly. You see, I can't play footage, and I don't know. I do apologise. I don't know who made the link between Saggy Melonz's voice and a particular cartoon character. But if someone can let me know, then I'll put it in the video description. But you know, basically, we'll play it, and then you'll see who I'm going to bring up.
Listen now.
Here, right? For the haters who gotta come here, let me just inform you that not only did Smash JT know about that SEC file way before everyone else did, because we were all in a friggin' Google Hangout call with Jeff while Tommy was explaining to us what was going to happen when this went public, and explained to us literally for 2 hours or so, literally 75 pages, all 75 pages. Smash JT was there, and it was broken down to him with the rest of us to explain what it was and everything. And Smash JT was there, and he didn't say shit.
Who there?
He didn't say a goddamn thing.
This just gets crazier every day. Good entertainment, better than a reality TV show.
So, yeah. Why does she have to shout? I don't know. I mean, Retro Bro's clearly given up since he's realised the writing is on the wall. He made a video almost a week ago. Intellivision Amico out of money? Say it isn't so. I think that's the one I went through last time, or a couple of times ago, whenever it was. They are out of money. So, and he's not done any more Amico After Dark or anything like that. It's maybe he felt the air's been cleared. Ha ha ha. What else we got? Oh yeah, DJC. I mean, he's still going with his Astro Smash Mondays, and what have we got here? Intellivision Amico, he's playing biplanes. So yeah, he's really trying hard to keep this going. But of course, we've also got Turbo Joe. He's yeah, he still believes a release date will be announced by the end of February, and this is on a recent video from Canadian Gamer. So I'll put a link for this in the description below. I've got a lot of links to put in there. So he says, Tommy is looking to get the Founders Edition out to customers. How? We'll know more in a couple of weeks. It's not dead and nothing is over. The Amico didn't even start yet. Canadian Gamer says, Dream on, buddy. You're the one who's looking like a fool right now. You do realise if you were to just post an honest video talking about it, and how you're starstruck by Tallarico's presence, but now have grave concerns over the system, the community would probably respect you more for it. Taking out a loan from some random guy with a promise to pay back $100 from every console is the definition of a loan shark. These guys just want to play around with other people's money than to use their own. Not a good look. Do have a Jun Yard Willie is. I talked to Tommy, he's my friend. He said so. Whatever that means. Arioka, as John Rambo once said, nothing is over. Turbo Joe, play with others' money. It's called investing. People invest in ideas every day. I could get a refund on my pre-order right now. The company is very much in existence. You want to talk about looking like a fool? I look like a fool. If I look like a fool to you and you're simple-minded loyalists, then I'm doing just fine. Thank you. I invest in things all the time. I take risks and make lots of money. Do you? You should try it sometime. How do you think I get to own 2 houses, 3 cars, and a game room with 10 arcade machines? Why do you need more than 1 car and 1 house? I don't know. Sweatpants Joe says Tommy's looking to go on tour and leave all your bozos high and dry. John says, so you did invest in the Amico, or did you invest in the Amico? Apparently, according to you, it's a great investment. Ethel Mertz says, I've got a crush on Tommy Tallarico. 2 Turbo Bro, don't let these haters get in the way of your man love. I sure don't. Turbo replies, this is why I don't normally waste time on his channel. Idiots like you, I've never said anything about investing in the Amico. I would never invest in video game content. Lol. There you go, and others that just like to stir the pot and make stuff up about what people say. Goodbye, Looney Tunes, Twilight Zone. Oh god, it's awful spelling. Twilight Zone channel, chatting with space cadets is getting me bored fast. Yun says, I didn't say you invested, I asked. Did you? Also, are you getting paid by Intellivision? Why are you doing this? Radical Nancy, look at those dark rings around your eyes. That's far too much. Yeah. When people say I've got rings around my eyes, but I don't know what you're going to do. It's probably an age thing. Although my mum once told me it was like a genetics thing. So, who knows? Yun says, what I cannot figure out is if Turbo Joe is making these Amico claims up, or if he's being fed lies by Intellivision and told to broadcast them. Anytime someone puts the tiniest bit of pressure on Turbo Joe to try and confirm this, he turns coward and runs. Canadian Gamer says, you're delusional. Tommy Tallarico and David Perry, both stakeholders, have a combined net worth of close to $12 million. If this really was a passion project, these two guys will be putting their blood, sweat and tears into the startup company, and that includes Tommy not giving himself a huge salary in a company he owns. The fact that the company is over $8 million in debt and are starting a fourth crowdfunding campaign tells us all we need to know. Tommy and David would rather use other people's money than put themselves in debt, and they can't even be bothered to put themselves back into the green even though they have the cash funds to do so. That is all we need to know right there. The risk is too volatile for these guys to dig into their own pockets. Carla says, when is Tommy shipping your Amico so you can laugh at us? There's a lot of people laughing at you. And Canadian Gamer says, if Joe gets his Amico and the project is a huge success, climbing out of a debt hole of $8 million, fourth crowdfunding stalled out at 56k, so doubtful, I will admit I was wrong and give Turbo Joe and the cult full credit. Fair deal, says Carla. On the contrary, if Joe doesn't get his beloved Amico, he'll continue to deflect on White Knight for Scamaholics and keep on insulting this in Darius' community. Joe is a man-child whose credibility was run into the ground and stomped on first by Scamaholics and now by all of us. Like Dreamcast Guy says, keep dreaming, little... I'm not going to repeat that last word, but you get the idea. And Turbo Joe has made a video, the Intellivision Amico scam, where he tries to figure out, I flick through it, tries to figure out whether it's a scam. Naturally, he doesn't think it's a scam, so I've saved you 9 minutes there. And yeah, it's just mostly ranting, so I'm not going to bother going through that. It's bad enough to listen to first time round. Then some interesting, some other little DJC news. Just two buddies, a CEO and an investor to the SEC regulated fundraisers, hyping each other's products. No disclosures needed. Definitely not a quid pro quo situation. Very organic. So we'll just put this full screen. Got quite a few things going on here. So this guy, I mean, I don't need to know anyone's first names, surnames, anything like that. I mean, this includes clips from, quotes from, oh god, Twitter, StartEngine, everything. But yeah, so Charles, I mean, I've heard is referred to as Chuck, which is like short for Charles, is DJC Game Studios. It even says it on here. So we've got things like Tommy saying, this is a fun one. Watch him as his jaw hits the ground doing his unboxing of the Amico box editions. He's the first one to order and make a video. They ship within 7 to 10 days. Still available here. They'll be available forever. Oh, of course, DJC also made the 10-track Intellivision album featuring the track I Want My Amico. He's not getting his Amico. But then he says, I'm really not an investor. I think I choose the mouse on there. I'm really not an investor. I just put a few bucks on the Republic thing, but I wouldn't call myself an investor. It was not over $1,000. I spent more money on Intellivision t-shirts, the 3 8-packs of games, and my pre-orders than I've ever put into funding or Republic. So he's not an investor, or not really an investor. Yet minimum investment is $1,000. The smallest investment, the amount the issuer is accepting in this offering. So it's not over $1,000. So he's put in $1,000 basically. He's invested it, but he's not really an investor. Yeah, okay. This is from, so yeah, stuff about his funny album. I covered that a little while ago. Let's see his album there again. This line's from, what do you call it, StartEngine. I personally played this gaming console multiple times at events and met a few of the great people at this company. This is a fun, innovative machine that will be enjoyed by families everywhere. I really love the multiplayer co-op team building aspect of this. It offers great trivia and party games, as well as catering to the old school nostalgia and retro gaming crowd. A slam dunk. Very excited to play again and share with everyone I know. This is gonna be big! Thanks, Charles, for being a fan, says Nick. Nick Richards, the Prairie Dog Shooter, everybody. Yay! Now, has StartEngine reached its target? This is like 9-10 days in. Have StartEngine got $5 million after almost 10 days? Republic managed $7 million in 3 days, which is the window to get bonus shares. So, how do you think it did? Let's just have a look. And there you have it. After nearly 10 days, they've got all the 52 investors and not even $60,000. So they're all just putting in maybe 1,000, maybe a little bit more. They're not putting in sort of any big amounts in there, like $10,000 or even $5,000. It's all sort of the minimum. Well, no, the minimum is 500. But yes, maybe some are putting in, maybe one or two are putting in $5,000. Who knows? But they're not going to get it back. But yeah, it's not looking good, is it? But the comments are usually quite funny because sometimes people put them in comments in. Apparently they can't be deleted, so they can't sort of control the narrative. And I did see another link somewhere where they've the Intellivision Amico Facebook group that no one can get into if you're not 100% on board. They now put all those posts, even for those people who have been accepted, they've now put all those posts on moderation. So you post your comments and it's got to be approved first before it'll even show up to human beings. So let's have a look at a few comments on here because I covered some of these comments before, so we'll just go through here. Luke H. Greetings. I recently saw a video uploaded to YouTube by someone who appears to be part of the Amico fan community. In this video, the person said that they and other members of the Amico fan community had received the SEC financial documents and information regarding the new round of fundraising before it was made public in a private group conference with with Tommy, basically. So that must be the thing that Saggy Melonz is referring to. Why do these YouTubers receive sensitive information like this before it is released publicly to possible customers, possible investors, and people who have already invested elsewhere? What is the relationship between Intellivision and these YouTubers? Are they receiving financial compensation in return for their coverage? If not, why are they being given this information? A company giving people who are simply fans documentation and information regarding company plans and financial status in private meetings seems very unusual and not something I'm aware of happening before. Also related to this, it seems that the news regarding the change of CEO was not made in public until it was noticed elsewhere, and when it was made public it was again through these Amico YouTubers, so people like Retro Bro, who's now disappeared. Why is information regarding big structural decisions only talked about when prompted elsewhere? And why does this indeed happen? Why is it through video streams with these aforementioned YouTubers? Well, precisely. It also appears that some of these YouTubers have commented on this offering, giving positive testimonials. Were these done at the request of Intellivision Entertainment? And I saw elsewhere on Reddit in the Intellivision Amico, so it's Intellivision_Amico Reddit page. Apparently Tommy and I think Nick Richards have done super chats on certain channels, so you can give money to a YouTuber. I've had a couple in the past. None from Tommy or Nick Richards, but they've just sort of donated. So they've not paid them. They've not paid them for their opinions. They're perfectly valid opinions, but they've just made random donations. Yeah. What else we got? So view 3 replies. These are all in bloody reverse order, aren't we? Luke, normally I dismiss this kind of controversial comment, but you got me intrigued. I think I found the video you're referring to. The person in question revealed Intellivision walked the group through each section of the SEC filing and explained it to them in advance. Commenters then noted this group of influencers, after the StartEngine campaign became public, hit the airwaves to repeat those explanations of the troubling aspects of the filing as though they were just from their own reading and research of the filings, failing to inform their viewers that they were just repeating the company's words. And in a few cases I mentioned, these explanations were, it seemed, heavily spun and not accurate. While it normally wouldn't affect my own decision, I like to get down to the facts and construct my own analysis ignoring such controversies, I do find it odd that the company would take this stealth approach to damage control. I guess it's a question of ethics more than anything. Were the testimonials here without disclosing this private relationship? Were any of them undisclosed investors? Windy Pops, DJC. Some of them had bothered me earlier by sounding too canned, but that would be more serious. John C. I think John C. likes Amico. I was curious about this also. I don't remember anyone saying... There's only one guy on this forum who's very, very pro-Amico. I was curious about this also. I don't remember anyone saying how long before it was made public that they got Form C. I'm not sure which form's which. I often find that new offerings get filed after 5 o'clock and then go live the following morning. I tried looking at the exact filing time, but the page doesn't go that many days back. All I can say is the form was filed on February the 7th. Given the inability of those YouTubers to accurately relay information, I presume it was filed before they got a copy. Joseph says, John, I thought on the video they mentioned a couple of weeks back. I thought on the video they mentioned a couple of weeks, but I can't find it now. There are so many on the subject, I won't be trawling through them all. This whole thing is very bizarre to me, but I think I'll just leave that side of things well alone now. So yeah, it's all looking very, very dodgy, isn't it? Amico shills exposed. Is that the thing? I'm not going to just open up something it might be the thing I've played before, the thing with DJC. But yeah, John C. The Wikipedia definition of shill is at the bottom. From what I saw, the comments attributed to, maybe a different picture, Retro Bow and Smash JT disclosed something along the lines about relationship with some people connected to the company. All four expressed they're looking forward to it. Oh, this is the Smash getting out of the away from the Amico cult. At least 3 claimed they had fun playing it. Granted, the comments went towards giving credibility. How is it any different from the 4 of you stooges? Doing the exact opposite. You give the most idiotic and unpersuasive arguments. You think you just outed people who admitted they covered the Amico and got to know many of the executives and decided to invest in Intellivision? Again, this is a forum for investments. Those 3 people gave an opinion about a product they have used and the people behind it. You 4 are deceitful, insofar as you try to hide your bias and agenda. You insult people, you play games with investors' perception, and try to make Prairie Dog shooter Nick look bad for not answering a question within 4.5 hours. You try to act nice by giving an insincere apology. And here you point to the earth-shattering news that people who admit they know people at Amico would like to play Amico, but call them Amico shills. I've already pointed out the irony of you making claims of misappropriating funds and your dishonest tactics here. A liar like you is doing investors like me a favour by employing any and all deceitful tactics you can think of. That pretty much sums up your thought process. I challenge you to take your allegations to the SEC. Well, you can do that now. Is this the best you can come up with to dissuade people from investing? 4 people who are supposed to not only use their first name but also identify themselves and their YouTube persona. Well, who are you? And he just moans about shills again. So blah blah blah. Then Kevin has absolutely a load of questions. I'm curious about the Amico. For a family product, there was a lack of diversity, gender specifically, on the leadership team. How is this bias balanced in product design, messaging and marketing? It isn't. Game experience on the team is clear. What is their consumer electronics design, manufacturing and retail experience? What is COGS and the cost reduction rate? I don't know what COGS is, but he's basically pointing out, will you be able to stay below Nintendo and Microsoft's price for the Switch and the Xbox S? No, they won't. What's the revenue share per unit? Blah, blah, blah. How many console units will you have to deliver before you generate profit? I think someone worked out about 200,000. With a cash position, can Intellivision develop a wide enough collection of games to attract customers to the system with a first-party approach? How many games will release in 2022 and 23? None. Inexpensive multiplayer, family and classic and simple games exist on all of today's major systems. When the majors have hundreds of these games for less than $20, what will convince a family to buy Amico? When will licenses like MLB, Crayola, Sesame Street, Hot Wheels and Dungeons and Dragons be available? They won't. The filing outlines $1 million to finish the online store. Is the DRM delivery and payment system in place today? No. Blockchain and NFT is complex and unproven. Major game companies have talked about NFT for scarce in-game objects, but why does a family or investors care about NFT? Is there a concern about the negativity emerging with NFT in the media? Well, there won't be NFT in it. I think we've sort of worked that out. You meant NFC. Is there a plan for physical games at retail? How much of the package download code product has been sold? It was about 20% on day one, and pretty much nothing after that. Why did you sell these so far ahead of system availability? Because they were desperate. Capital markets are flooded and rates are low. Why has the company chosen crowdfunding and direct loans rather than traditional funding? Because they can't get traditional funding. With the $5 million StartEngine raises, will any of that cash service outstanding debt or loans? How many systems can be delivered with this raise? None. How many retail purchase orders are committed, and when will they be fulfilled? When we see, so this is talking about selling the Amico in a store. That's not going to happen. How does manufacturing in the US help the company? Who's your US manufacturing partner, and where will the manufacturing transition to Asia? Well, they're not making anything anyway, so... Oh, God, Nick's actually responded. Hello, Kevin. As a father of 2 daughters, I'm acutely aware of the benefits of diverse perspective, particularly when it comes to gender. Honestly, it's been difficult to recruit women into the company, as the video game industry is dominated by men. Obviously, women are too intelligent not to apply to a company that's not gonna pay them. Basically, it's us men. We just maybe we're happy to work for a company that's not going to pay us. I don't know, but you take that up with Nick. The industry also comes with a certain level of toxicity that is not appealing to most, and with that toxicity generated mostly by men and boys, it's not inviting to women. Blah blah blah, blah 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 blah. If you know of any women who are good at doing this, please send them our way. No, ask them to look for better jobs that exist. With regards to the female perspective in product design, game development and marketing, we have relied on the network of diverse people outside of the company that provide regular input on just about everything we are doing. You can imagine age is a critical factor as we are developing games for a young demographic. Our product design and engineering team was recruited out of a consulting firm that focused on a broad array of consumer products with extensive experience in bringing products from idea to retail stores. Our electrical engineering team comes primarily out of military and space, JPL, whoever that is, applications, which brings a great perspective on what it truly takes to build a quality and durable electronics product. Our head of channel sales has broad experience in retail sales within the video game industry, specifically including time at Nintendo. Our head of marketing has also led large consumer product divisions with massive retail footprints. I'm going to break this into multiple posts given the length and time required to answer the 23 individual questions you have posed. I will be back to this shortly. So maybe I'll come back to this, this comment section again later. Then, John C. He's replied to someone called Caesar L. He seems to have started a new post about it, but he tries to sort of I guess it looks like Caesar L's asked, Smash JT has had enough of all of this, and John's just trying to say that Phil Adams is perfectly fine and that he's done nothing wrong. So I think we can just safely ignore that bullshit. Sure, champ, whatever you say, have fun scamming people. Smile. Yeah. So it's just all John C. Blah, 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 blah. Who cares? What else we got? Yeah, Kelly P says, you say most of today's gaming systems cost upwards of $500. None of them do. The PlayStation, the Switch and the Xbox S, $300. PlayStation 5 Digital, $400. But the Xbox X and the PlayStation 5 are $500 each. The last two including full and 4K Blu-ray players in them. It'd be highly misleading to add in extra costs of extra peripherals and controllers, as those are not a system cost. They are optional, and you can buy third-party controllers anyway. I think that's just in the original. Yes, in the original. The video about this. See what they've replied. God, Nick just sort of waffles on and on and on. Nick says, with the cost of a new Xbox and PS5 at $500, plus an extra controller, and just to make one game at $60 to make it equal value to the games on the Amico. $60? So Amico has $60 games, does it? Sorry, that is fucking bollocks. $60 equal to the value of games on the Amico. That's fucking bullshit. So you're looking to spend almost $630. Fucking bollocks. Load of utter fucking bollocks. As David said. Yeah. What do you say about patent pending? I don't think it really matters what Nick says. The trouble is, it sort of gives the answers in reverse order. But yeah, it's a poor price comparison. Plus, there are over 100 free games on the PS5, most of which seem to be far higher quality than the Amico's included titles, and in-app purchases can be blocked by parental controls. So, not fair to add an arbitrary number there to the comparison. Nick, blah 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 blah. Kelly, you're obviously quite familiar with the gaming industry, which would put you in the demographic of a gamer and a hardcore gamer. Oh, violence in games, blah blah blah. Our position is the industry needs a Disneyland, not another Las Vegas. Most non-gamer families have never heard of Rocket League or Rec Room. So it's just, excuses. He mentions Fortnite. God, every kid's heard of Fortnite. Many parents don't need to set up parental controls or they don't set them up because of complexity. Well, that's down to them. That's their fault. So he's blaming lazy parents, basically. Yeah, that's a strategy. Another challenge we see is modern-day controllers. With over a dozen buttons for the sticks, and particularly analog sticks, which are dead easy to use, controllers are intimidating and difficult for non-gamers to become proficient, even though you've got a silly dial that points in 64 directions, apparently, when you only need 8, and you can do that with a D-pad, and you can't double jump on your silly touchscreen. So it's just a... Oh, sorry, you're talking about your fucking arse, Dick Richards. Go shoot some prairie... No, don't shoot some prairie dogs. Please don't. Stop shooting them. I was going to tell him to get back to his hobby, but yeah, please don't get back to your hobby. Good Lord. So we're trying to develop a different product. It's a product nobody wants. You're trying to reinvent the wheel, but reinvent the wheel as a square. It's not going to fucking work at all. Kelly says this is very out of touch. An out-of-touch technique. It took me only a couple of minutes to set up parental controls, and I don't need to worry about a single thing you mentioned. The stores have curated sections for popular or recommended games, such as monthly picks, editor's choice, play together for all ages, body and mind. And most of the games my kids play only require 1 or 2 buttons. Kids aren't dumb. They pick these things up in a minute or two if you spend a few moments with them and give them a chance. Then they just have fun. Yeah, it never took me long. Well, I say when I was a kid, but then again we had... the Atari 2600, which was just the joystick and 1 button. But you should try Rocket League. It's basically a team sports game where you drive little buggies to shove giant balls around, and such a blast with the family. I'll take a look at your parental control setup and see what it's like and what kind of games I can't get on platforms that we might want to play. None at all. I think I think I've gone into some of this before. They're talking about the SAM thing, which I've covered before. So yes, we've covered that CEO and CTO business. But we'll finish on this. So David S says, at the end of the day, I think it's all about when the Amico can be released. A firm date and an achievable plan of how you're going to get there will be something that might entice me to invest. I think people, well, you've lost out on the bonus shares, so no point now. Especially since less than $60,000, they're not going to do this. I think people really want to know where manufacturing is at. Do you have a manufacturer? How much money will it take to get, say, 10,000 units produced? Units, not Unix. How quickly can they be produced once the money is paid? I think he means. Once the Amico is out there, even if the games and the OS are not as polished as one would hope, well, it's broken, it means revenue is trickling in again, and even if more funds are then required to move things to the next level, there would at least be a much greater level of confidence than what we all currently have. So at the moment we've got no console, and you're thinking that putting out a broken console will increase confidence. Doubtful. So, yeah, I've had enough of all that. So, that's where we're up to at the moment. So, let me know all your thoughts in the comments below. In the meantime, we'll like this video, share it with your friends, subscribe if you haven't already, click on the bell for all notifications, and cue Genesis.